Are unnoticed and continuous urinary leakage severe patterns of incontinence? This study was self-founded. According to the symptom profile, incontinence can be classified into three main patterns: stress, urgency, and mixed. The most prevalent type is stress incontinence, then mixed, and finally urgency. However, other types of incontinence have been found to be very prevalent too. In this sub-analysis of the cross-sectional epidemiological study EpiLUTS, where 30,000 men and women were surveyed about the LUTS, 15.6% of women had other types of incontinence like postmicturition, coital, nocturnal, or leakage for no reason. The interesting point is that patients who combine these other types of incontinence with stress, urgency, or mixed incontinence had worse physical health and more comorbidities. Moreover, anxiety and depression were also more prevalent. Another type of leakage not included in the EpiLUTS study is continuous leakage. It's defined as the complaint of continuous involuntary loss of urine which may be caused by sphincter abnormalities or extraurethral incontinence, and is considered a complicated type of incontinence. We hypothesize that patients who combine urgency, mixed, or stress incontinence with leakage for no reason or continuous leakage have more severe incontinence and a greater impact in quality of life. We conducted a retrospective cross-sectional study from a urodynamic database in which we included women with stress, urgency, or mixed incontinence according to the ICIQ-UI short form and excluding patients with neurological conditions. We further classified as complex incontinence if they leaked for no reason and/or all the time. The ICIQ-UI short form is a questionnaire for the evaluation of the frequency and amount of urinary incontinence and its impact in quality of life. It also has a self-diagnostic item about the circumstances in which the leakage happens, which let us define the different patterns like stress, urgency, nocturnal, postmicturition, unnoticed, or continuous incontinence. We included a total of 293 women with a median age of 62 years within a range of 10 to 90. The distribution of patterns is as follows. 62 patients had stress incontinence, 14 of which were complex. 75 had urgency incontinence, 18 of which were complex. 156 had mixed incontinence, 19 of which were complex. Therefore, 58.3% had simple patterns and 41.6% had complex patterns. In this graphic, we can see that partial and total scores are lowest for stress, intermediate for urgency, and highest for mixed incontinence. All comparisons reach statistical significance. In this graphic, we compared all simple versus all complex patterns, and as you can see, frequency, amount, impact in quality of life, and total ICIQ scores are significantly higher for complex patterns. Finally, we compared complex versus simple forms of stress, urgency, and mixed incontinence. As you can see, complex patterns always had significantly higher scores than simple ones, with the only exception for impact in quality of life of stress and complex stress urinary incontinence. Therefore, we interpret that women with stress, urgency, or mixed incontinence who also leak continuously or for no reason have more frequent, amount, and greater impact in quality of life. So our concluded message is that leakage for no reason and continuous incontinence are markers of more severe incontinence with a greater impact in quality of life.